We're going to add the trim. We've made it by using gathering foot, and we put the gathers in. So we're going to attach this, glasses on, dark colours, you just can't see them. I've already overlocked the edges of this, and we're going to just place this just a little bit above the hemline, you know, where I've overlocked it, and then just sew on top of the gathering seam that we've already done.
Right on top of the gathering seam?
Yeah. So small steps. We're going to do it in small steps because you don't want to be moving so far away from, you know, you don't want to miss that. You're sort of like doing it a little bit blindly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it. Now, I know you can pin this and stuff, but you know what, you're restricted when you pin it. And you know when you're doing it freehand, you just use your common sense and your natural intuition.
Do you think you'd learn quicker if you did it like that, rather? Because I would be tempted to pin that because I'm a beginner. But do you think you should just have a go?
Well, you know what? It teaches you patience that you're doing it in small steps. So you're not doing it like, because I find pins restrict me. They constantly get in my way, and you know, apart from certain things, like, you know, I used it for the elastic.
Yeah.
But for like, if I was using it here, they'd be like sticking into everything.
Yeah, and then you might forget to take one out and it breaks your needle. That's what happens to me.
So I don't know, I just do it in small steps, just you know, at a glance, prepare a little bit in advance to where I'm going to sew up to, stitch up to that, leave the needle down, prepare a little bit more, yeah, and then grab hold of the fabric, adjust it and just stitch, and you just keep on going. Just make sure that you've got enough frill.
Yeah.
Now, if you think that you've not got enough frill, then you know what you need to do is maybe make these gathers. If you haven't got enough fabric to make too much of a frill, it's better to have more than less. But what you can do is make the gathers a little bit less.
Yeah.
So that way it won't be as frilly.
Because actually there were 1.5 meters of that material.
We've used
every bit, and the next one I have is only 1.25 meters, so I'm going to have to be careful, aren't I?
Well, what you can do is you don't have to add the frill. You can just do it slightly longer.
Oh, I could do, yeah.
Or you can add something like lace, or maybe like a bit of a ribbon or something.
Yeah.
Or you can even use contrasting.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You can use a contrasting fabric to do that. That's what we were talking about the other day. That, you know, you don't have to. You're not restricted to do the frill in the same color. I mean, like if you were doing it with this, even if you were doing it in white, it would have looked.
Yeah, as long as it's contrasting.
Oh, yeah.
The fabric.
So you have to learn to sort of mix and match as well. Just make sure that if it's, you know, turned over, that's all straightened up, the frilling fabric, the frill. You don't tuck it down. What I'm going to do is perhaps after the holidays when we do something, I'm going to get you to do the sewing, and I'm just going to watch you.
And I'll make it. Yeah.
So then you get to handle. Now you're watching. Then you handle the machine, and where you're handling it wrong, I get you to, you know, correct you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it might seem like I'm sewing for you at the moment, but this is just like a life.
No, well, I appreciate it because I've watched you and then I've made one at home, a practice one, and now I'm going to make the real thing. Or it's a sort of
sometimes what happens is, you know, it makes you a little bit nervous as well. You know, you're sitting in front of someone and you're trying to do it to their standard.
Yeah.
And you're a bit uneasy. But when you've seen it, you know, someone do it, and you've had a practice at the same thing, it sort of builds your confidence.
Yeah.
And then you're not as reluctant to try things out. So, yeah, we've got that much left.
A bit left.
Yeah. Now, you see, what we can do is, if we wanted, we could still add, with that little bit of material left, you could add a frill to your... Although I would cut that on a bias and add it.
Yeah. I wanted a tie, you know, like that one's got a bit of a tie, like a string tie, so maybe I could use that for that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, look where we've come to. Now you see, we wouldn't have guessed this.
Perfect.
Can you see that seam line?
That's perfect.
We've come exactly on a seam line.
That's perfect, isn't it?
Oh. Surprising, isn't it? How? She measured that. She'd be taking a gamble at getting a lottery ticket. I wouldn't get that right. There you are, you've got that.
Thank you, I've got a bit left to use, yeah.
Now we've only got the final verdict seam line, which is the opposite side to the seam that we first did. And then we're done. If you were cheating, okay, and if you didn't fancy doing that open one, you'd just turn that over and just seam over it, and it'll still hide away. It'll still hide away the unevenness of the fabric.
Yeah.
Although I'd advise you to do it in the open.
Do it the other way.
Yeah. So try and focus so that you know these points of the elastic match each other.
Do you go backwards again on that one where the elastic is not? Do you just carry on sewing down?
You can do if you want, if you think you're gonna, but the elastic is not really, there's no attachment to the fabric or the stitching with the elastic,
right? Because
it stretches the opposite direction. The next one that you're focusing on is make sure that these bits are going to match as well.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we had a slight bit of fabric unevenness earlier on, and I matched it up and I put them right. So now here is something that you know you can pin in advance, so that like with me, I just go according to. But you know, it's something that now if you feel that it's just slightly one is. Try and create just a little bit of a crease towards the top rather than the bottom.
Right.
Can you see? Just a little bit of just marginal, so that it's it's matching at the bottom. Because here there's so many creases there anyway. It's not really going to matter.
You wouldn't see it, would you?
Yeah, but if it's unbalanced here, you would. Right. Moment of truth. We turn it inside out. Just trim away the threads and turn it inside out, and then just do that final pressing, and we're ready to show you the final result, hopefully.